Maze Alpha was one of the first full-screen budget smartphones that was released more than 2 months ago. The phone indeed looks great because of its near bezel-less design, it has decent specs and more. My name is Linus, stay tuned for my After the Buzz review. Just before we start, the phone retails for about $180. I will leave all the links down below the video. The design still remains the key selling point of this phone due to its gigantic 6-inch 1080p display that takes almost the entire space of the front. Still, the bezels are quite visible if you take a closer look. That huge LCD display is just gorgeous and it can get really bright. There was no space for the LED notification light, and a 5-megapixel selfie camera sits on the bottom, next to the fingerprint scanner that I found to be pretty fast and reliable to use, but the display could light up a little bit faster. What I love is that there is an integrated touchpad, so you don't really need to use the on-screen keys for navigation. After using the phone for quite a bit of time, I found it to be an enormous fingerprint magnet, like most of the glass-made phones. There is a dual camera setup that consists of one 13-megapixel shooter and another 5-megapixel sensor. The loudspeaker quality is just average, just like on most of the phones in this price range. Overall, the Maze Alpha is a well-built phone and that metal frame adds a little bit of a premium look. I managed to scratch a glass back a little bit, but that's the case even with much more expensive glass-made phones. Also, keep in mind that the phone is definitely not for everyone due to its sheer size because of that 6-inch display. The phone rocks a MediaTek Helio P25 chipset that is coupled with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of onboard storage that can be further expanded via the microSD card slot. The gaming performance is pretty good, but you should expect a little bit of stutter and skipped frames in some games if you play them on the highest graphics settings. Also, I found that the phone gets quite warm on the upper portion of the device. As far as user interface goes, the Maze Alpha runs Android 7 that preserves most of its stock look, but the app drawer has been removed. There aren't many features to talk about except for a bunch of gesture and motion controls that I found to be working quite well. What is great is that the phone is still fast and responsive even after installing quite a few apps and using the phone for quite a bit of time. Finally, I received a couple of software updates during the period of 2 months, meaning that Maze actually cares about their phones. Even the phone received a few software updates, the camera performance is still kind of average. Well, you can take some decent looking pictures in daylight, but more often than not, the images will have less detail and sharpness than expected. Pictures taken in that bokeh mode look unnatural and I'm not really impressed with the results. In other words, that blurred background effect is made using software, not hardware. Selfie image quality does not impress. Also, you have to turn the phone upside down to take a proper looking selfie since the camera is implemented on the bottom right corner of the phone.
I'm recording a video in 1080p resolution with Maze Alpha smartphone.
The 1080p video quality is above average as the footage could look a little bit sharper. Selfie camera can shoot videos only at 480p resolution and the quality is quite terrible.
Get used to that, but it's not a huge issue. So this is how the footage would look like, 480p, not the best resolution out there, but
the call quality is not the best, but it's decent. Other connectivity options including Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS work fine. Also, the phone has a gyroscope sensor, meaning that it is compatible with VR headsets. A 4000 mAh battery performs quite well considering the size of the display. I could get about 5.5 hours of screen on time, which is a pretty standard result. The phone ships with a fast charger that fully charges the phone in about 1.5 hours. The Maze Alpha is still an interesting offering for the price, even after a few months of the official release. Obviously, the design remains its key selling point, and I found the phone to be fast on a daily basis. Well, it would have been nice to have better cameras, but these are the trade-offs you have to live with if you want that full screen design at affordable price. What do you guys think about the Maze Alpha? Drop me a comment down below, and as always, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel and if you like my videos, please subscribe. Finally, for all the latest updates, please follow me on social media. It was Linus, thanks for watching again, and see you soon.